Hello everyone, welcome back to Peaches' Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make beetroot juice, sweetened and unsweetened. Okay, at the moment I'm just getting the beetroot, the fresh beetroot. I'm just going to take off all the bits that I do not want to use. I'm just making sure everything is well and properly sorted. Okay. And when you're doing beetroot, always, if possible, wear a gloves because the beetroot will stain your hands, so just wear gloves to protect your hands. You do not want to have purple hands, which will take a while to get off. This will take a little bit of time, but don't worry, just be patient and just take off those bits that you do not need to have on the beetroot. And remember, it's up to you. You could peel the beetroot or you could just leave it with the skin. So what I'm going to do now is just to give it a good scrub, a good wash, to make sure all the dirt is released and it's nice and clean. Yeah, so just give it a good scrub with some cold water. Okay, you can see we're ready now for me to start the process. Okay, it's done. Okay, take it over. Okay, and what I'm going to do now is to just prepare my ginger. You know, you just need just a handful of ginger. You don't need too much, just a handful. So now I'm doing the same thing as I did to the beetroot. I'm just taking off the bits that are not good, and I'm not going to peel the ginger. I'm just going to give it a good scrub. Okay, and as the beetroot, this will take a little while just to get all the bad bits, the bits that doesn't look very good. Okay, you just take those off. Okay, so just continue to do that until you get to the end of the ginger that you're using. Okay, now I'll just give it a good scrub, to make sure there's no dirt on my ginger, because I'm not going to peel it. I'm just going to leave it with the skin on. If you prefer, you could add more ginger. It's up to you how strong you want it. And if you don't like ginger, you don't need to add ginger. You could just use just the beetroot to make the juice. Okay, now I'm going to cut up the ginger very small. Okay, this will take a little time, but again, just be patient. So I'm cutting up my ginger. As you could notice, it's taking a while, yeah, because it's fresh ginger. You could grate the ginger if you prefer as well, but I just decided to just cut it up so I could easily put it into the blender. As you noticed, I've put a dish towel on my cutting board, because what I was finding that my cutting board was slipping quite a lot. So that's the reason why you will notice I've put the dish towel, and it's much better. It's not slipping anymore. All these little, tricks that we all learn as we go along, in the kitchen. Once again, I'm just making sure the beetroot is cut up very small so that, it will be easier to do in the blender. This process does take a little while. That's why when you're in the kitchen, you're cooking or doing whatever you're doing, it does take time. So you just have to be patient with yourself and remember that you want the best out of what you are doing. Okay? Okay, so now what you do, you have about, say, 2 cups of water. You can use tap water or bottled water. Just use what you prefer and what you've got at hand. Okay, so those are about 2 cups. I was going to use another cup. Okay, I decided that, I'm going to put some more in, but not right now, yeah? Because I will need to put some more just to get the blender to be working properly. Okay. Until I don't see any more of the beetroots, and I've decided to add another cup, so that's about 3 cups of water, and now the blender is working much better. Okay, you want it to get it as fine as you possibly can so that you can strain it. Okay, so all I'm doing here is just to get it to a fine consistency so that it will be able to go through the strainer, you know, smoothly. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm just having a look. It's a bit difficult to release the cover of the blender. Okay, I still wasn't happy, so I decided to give it another blend. Okay, I'm happy now. Okay, what I'm going to do first is to use the first container to just strain the beetroot. As you can see, I'm just giving it a squeeze. Okay, so each time you just give it a squeeze. You can use your hand if you prefer, but I just didn't want to, and I just use the wooden spoon to just give it a squeeze and to make sure all I've got out of that rich juice out of the beetroot. Beetroot is quite good for you. You know, it's good for your blood. And it's got all those minerals in there. So it's quite good for you. If possible, you know, you can have beetroot juice at least once or twice a week. It just depends on your preference. So ginger is quite good for pain, and you've got inflammation as well. It's good. You know, but you have to be careful because some people may not like ginger, so just the beetroot juice will, it's good for your blood, enrich your blood with all those minerals and vitamins that we need, which sometimes we cannot just get it from our food alone. So we need to do other things just to build our health up. Okay. So as you noticed, I'm not going to I haven't thrown the beetroot, what I would call it, trash. Yeah, you might call it trash, but I call it trash. Yeah, don't throw it away because you can still put that again through the blender and have another jug of the beetroot juice. If you do not want to use the blender, as I have done, if you've got a juicer, you can also use the juicer. But one thing with the juicer, you're not going to get so much juice from the beetroot and the ginger itself. So that's why I have decided to use the water instead of going directly to the juicer. Next time I could show you how to do that with the juicer if you prefer, and if you like to use, the juicer is much better for quickness, but if you have the time, just use your blender and water to get more juice from your beetroot and ginger. Okay, so as you noticed, I'm going to blend this again as I've mentioned before. So I'm just putting it back in the blender. Okay, so now I'm using a finer strainer to strain the beetroot juice again to make sure I don't have any residue from the ginger and the beetroot in the juice. Okay, that's your beetroot juice almost done. What I'm doing here is to just have a slice, but I couldn't quite get the slice from the lemon, so I just decided not to bother with it. I was going to use it for decoration, but not to worry, I changed my mind. Okay, so you juice, say half of lemon juice, so I decided to use the all of the lemon instead of just half. Remember, beetroot juice by itself is sweet, when you do drink it. So if you do have any type of health issues, the lemon will take away some of that sweetness. If you notice with me, I don't like to waste anything, so I make good use of it. And with the lemon peel and stuff that I've got, you can also put it in your washing up when you're washing dishes, so you don't throw anything away. Everything is well used in your kitchen. In my kitchen, I don't throw away the lemon skins. I just use it to wash up when I'm washing dishes. Or if you are seasoning up meat, you can use it to wash your meat. Okay, so that's my first juice of beetroot. So that's your beetroot juice. Takes a little while, but never mind. You want the goodness from whatever you are doing. Now, what I'm going to do is to just put few of the dates in a cup of warm water, just to make them soft. here. I was just going to throw it in the water in, but I decided, okay, let's measure it so you can see how much water I am using at this stage. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to blend it again and do the same process as I did for the first juice. Okay, giving it a good blend. Okay. So I'm going to strain this again, which is my second process of making the beetroot juice. And if you notice, the juice is just as thick. You know, if you look up the consistency, the color is just as thick as the first one. Okay, here I'm just adding the dates. Okay, once I've had the dates, once I've got the juice, add the dates. Okay, just give it another, just blend it again, just to make it a bit sweet, if you want it to make it sweet. If you don't, it doesn't matter. You can just drink it without having it sweet, but it's just to show you that you can use dates to sweeten whatever it is that you are using, instead of using sugar or honey or any type of sweetener. Yeah, I just decided to use the dates. Okay, just gonna strain that. Okay, and I'm straining it because the dates are at the bottom. Okay, you just get some of the dates, not all of the dates were blend. Okay, I'm going to use the next lemon to put inside this juice. I choose to use lemon juice. You don't have to put any lemon, any acid in it at all, because lemon does give you its acid, so you don't have to use it if you don't want to. But that's just my preference. So you can see the lemon is a little bit hard. Okay, I decided just to use the bigger strainer because the little one was taking too long and it wasn't going through properly. Okay. And that's the dates that you can see at the bottom in the blender. Okay. Yeah. Fine with that now. Okay. I'm just putting this in my other glass so that you can see. And I just decided to give it another strain just to make sure there's nothing in there that I didn't want in my drink. Okay. Then one thing I forgot to do was to add the lemon juice. So I just had just a tablespoon of the lemon juice, and that's it. Your beetroot juice is done, sweetened and unsweetened. And if you want, you could save the beetroot and ginger trash, because you could dry it out if you have the facility to dry it, or if you live in a hot climate, and you can use that for beauty products. Okay, so thank you for watching Peaches' Kitchen. Please try it and enjoy your drink. Okay, thank you.